The first time I saw her, she was locked inside a containment field in the bowels of the Arcus research station. At first glance, I thought she was human, until her eyes opened, reflecting twin suns of pale silver light. They flickered like storm lightning behind a translucent veil of lashes. Even in the sterile chill of the holding bay, even with the hum of energy walls vibrating the air, she radiated an aura that felt wrong to cage. My name is Rylan Caro. I was a cargo technician, which is a polite way of saying space janitor with a badge. I'd been assigned to Arcus for a 6-month rotation, mostly shuffling crates, cleaning spills, and making sure food rations didn't go missing. Nobody told me about the secret levels of the station. Nobody told me about her. I stumbled on her by accident. I was tracing a power fluctuation along the lower conduits when I found a hidden bulkhead door, misaligned by just a centimeter. I pried it open and followed the hum down to a forgotten sublevel. That's where I saw the field chamber, glowing faint blue. And inside her, she was tall, slender, with skin that shimmered like moonstone under the energy grid. Her hair, or what looked like hair, flowed in strands of metallic white, shifting in weightless ripples as though underwater. She wasn't asleep. She was watching me silently with those storm-silver eyes. I knew I should have reported it, but something in her gaze made me hesitate. She didn't look like a prisoner of war or a dangerous specimen. She looked frightened. The discovery. Over the next few days, I found excuses to return. I bypassed the scanners, snuck food and water down there even though I had no idea what she ate. The first time she didn't touch it. The second, she pressed her hand to the containment wall, studying me as if trying to read the lines of my face. Finally she spoke. Not in words but directly into my head. You are not like the others. I almost dropped the water flask. Her voice wasn't mechanical or cold. It was soft, melodic, threaded with strange harmonics that resonated in my bones. Who are you? I whispered, though nobody could hear us. My name does not exist in your tongue, but you may call me Salira. Salira. The sound lingered in my mind like a secret chord. She told me fragments. She'd been captured in deep space by the station's covert research division. They were studying her physiology, dissecting her abilities. They believed her species had some link to faster-than-light transitions, what we called slipstream jumps. She didn't know how long she'd been here. Time for her flowed differently. When I asked why she trusted me, her silver eyes softened. Because you hesitate. The cruel never hesitate. That night I couldn't sleep. Every corridor I walked afterward felt like it carried hidden eyes. My gut twisted with guilt. The Arcus station wasn't a research outpost. It was a cage. And she was its brightest prisoner. The escape. The decision came 2 weeks later, when I overheard 2 officers in the mess hall. They spoke casually, as though discussing the weather. Final phase begins tomorrow, one said. They'll dissect her cortex. I nearly choked on my protein ration. I couldn't let it happen. The plan was reckless. I rerouted power from the waste disposal grid, just enough to destabilize the containment field for 60 seconds. It was all the time we had. I remember my hands shaking as I keyed in the override, alarms already beginning to pulse. The field shimmered, cracked, then collapsed. Salira stepped out as though walking from a dream. Her presence filled the room with an almost gravitational weight. For the first time I saw her fully, her skin shifting like woven starlight, her movements fluid, every step both alien and graceful. Follow me, I urged, heart hammering. We sprinted through maintenance shafts, ducking patrols as alarms howled across the station. I'd memorized the blind spots of the surveillance network after months of boredom, Now they became our lifeline. When we reached Dock 6, security sealed the bay. I thought it was over. But Salira pressed her palm against the blast door. Silver light pulsed from her veins, flowing outward like rivers of fire. With a sound like shattering glass, the steel dissolved. She turned to me once, eyes glimmering. "You will not be forgotten." Then she vanished into the void, her body unraveling into threads of silver that streaked through the stars. I stood there, stunned, alarms echoing behind me. I just freed an alien girl from captivity, and I had no idea what would happen next. The aftermath. For days, chaos engulfed Arcus. Investigators combed every level, searching for answers. I kept my head down, pretending ignorance. They interrogated dozens of staff but never pinned it on me. Perhaps the sabotage looked too sophisticated to be the work of a lowly cargo tech. Still, I expected retribution. An attack, a warship from Salira's people, something. But nothing came. Life on Arcus crept back to its monotonous routine. Except for me. Every night, I replayed her gaze, her words, the way she dissolved into the stars. I wondered if she had made it home. I wondered if I'd doomed humanity by releasing her. I wondered if she thought of me at all. Then, 3 nights later, she returned. The return. I woke to a sound like wind chimes echoing in the vacuum. My cabin lights flickered, shadows warping across the walls. When I turned, she was there, Salira standing at the foot of my bed. She looked different, stronger. Her form seemed more solid now, less fragile, her silver eyes brighter than before. "You came back," I whispered. "I promised you would not be forgotten." Her voice filled the room like music. She stepped closer, and though her body radiated an aura of energy, the warmth that emanated from her felt deeply human. "Why risk returning?" I asked. "They'll kill us both if they find you." Her gaze held mine. "Because you gave me freedom. And in my people's law, freedom must be answered with a gift." She raised her hands. Between her palms, light coalesced into a crystalline sphere, pulsing with shifting colors like a living star. "What is it?" "Breathe." "A fragment of the Luminara." She spoke the word with reverence. "It is essence, memory, and power of my kind. With it, you may travel between the folds of the cosmos as we do. It will bind to your life force, protect you, guide you." My throat tightened. "You're giving this to me. It is more than a gift. It is a bond. You chose compassion over fear, and such choices ripple beyond time. With this, you will never walk alone." She pressed the sphere into my chest. Heat and light surged through me, flooding every nerve, every thought. For a heartbeat, I saw galaxies unfurling like petals, rivers of stars spiraling across endless black. Then it dimmed, settling deep within me, a second heartbeat thrumming under my ribs. Gasp staggering. What have you done?" Salira smiled, the faintest curve of lips that shimmered like dawn. "I have given you what no human has carried before. The gift of the Luminara. Guard it well." The farewell. Before I could speak, alarms blared again. Security had detected the anomaly. Boots thundered down the corridor. Salira's form flickered, destabilizing. "I cannot stay," she said, urgency flaring in her voice. "But remember Rylan Caro, the cruel never hesitate. And neither should the brave." Her silver light unraveled once more, scattering like starlight through my cabin walls. She was gone.